Good afternoon, happy stampers. Whoops, sorry, my stool was in the way. Welcome to my Happy Stamping Studio. My name is Judi Anderson from judistamps.com, and I'm an independent demonstrator here in the United States. And I am also the team leader of the Happy Stampers and Ink team. So today this week I'm actually going to be doing Christmas in July. And I am just checking my phone here to see if I am live. This week I'm actually going to be doing. Yes, I am live. So I'll put my phone up over here. So I would like to welcome my live viewers on Facebook and on YouTube and those watching on replay. Please say hello in the comments, whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube, so I know that you came in and joined me today. And if you're watching on replay in both spots, please mark replay. I would appreciate that. Also, don't forget to share this video with your friends. That's the biggest compliment you can give me. So we are starting this week with the Lights Aglow Suite. And this suite is found on pages 30 and 31 of the July to December catalog. So let's flip around. Okay, just a little bit of an adjustment here. There we go. Okay, I hope you guys got enough notifications that I came on today. So here is page 30 of the July to December mini catalog. And as you can see, some gorgeous samples on here. But if you go over to page 31, the very next page, you'll see all the products that are in this suite. Now, this suite contains 2 stamp sets and 2 sets of dies. We are going to be using primarily the Christmas Lights bundle, which is number 1, but I am going to be using the words from the Brightest Glow bundle. The Christmas Lights bundle does not have words in it, and I always love our Christmas sets that have different sayings and verses in them, and this one in particular has some for the inside and the front of your card. And I just realized I did not cut a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of basic white for the inside, so we will cut that while we are stamping today. But this suite also includes some gorgeous ribbon and those gold vanilla and the festive pearls that come in cherry cobbler, soft succulent, silver, and gold. We have used those already on another project. And then some gorgeous glimmer paper. Now this glimmer paper has 6 single-sided sheets, 2 of 3 colors, which are evening evergreen, very vanilla, and gold. And then we have the Festive Foils specialty paper, which is gorgeous also. We are not going to use that today, but we are using a little bit of the glimmer paper. And then Lights Aglow 6 by 6 paper. I had chosen to use a different designer series paper today, and I don't know what I was thinking. I had cut it and thought, oh my gosh, I should have used some of this paper to show you how gorgeous it is with it. Sorry for that noise. I thought I had turned off the washing machine and it just started up again. But I am going to be using the paper, the Boughs of Holly paper from page 25. Now we have already used this paper before, and I think I just had a scrap in there, and that's what I decided to use. So let's take a look at these products. Here are the red and green. And so it's the red, soft, succulent, silver, and gold pearls, the festive pearls, which will fit all your holiday projects, and the Christmas Light stamp set. This stamp set has 8 stamps, and they have snowflakes and Christmas trees and some garland running across. And this week, we are using this stamp set primarily. I will probably do one on Thursday night using the other stamp set and dies that go along with this suite. But I'm excited to bring some avid stamping projects with you, and then back to the basics on Wednesday. We're going to be doing a simple card for those of you that are just beginners. Here are the set of dies. Now, I will be honest with you. I was prepping for my card today, and I thought, am I missing a die. I haven't even pulled them out yet, but how could I be missing one? So I counted them. Know that there are 14 dies. The snowflake has a die that goes around the edge here, and it's not real evident, but as you can see here, it does cut out the snowflake as a parameter, or you could just do these in your project, and you can combine the two to make a gorgeous snowflake. And then the tree dies are 2 dies also. Now we are going to be using this outline die, this die that cuts out all the insides. Ugh, I had taken these off, so I'm going to take these off now. Oh, I can tell you, I spent probably a good 10 minutes counting and comparing with the catalog and going, I look at the catalog and it's 14 dies, and then I count them, and then I compared them back and forth, and I kept coming up with 13. It was this outside snowflake that I was missing the whole time. So then here's this star. We're going to use that for the top of our tree today. Now, the brightest glow is the stamp set that has all the different verses in there. And as you can see, you can put Merry Christmas on the front, and may the peace of the season light your world, and may your new year be the brightest on the inside. So they're are made to go with each other. So that is a great stamp set. And then here are the dies, and these dies poke little holes in your project and kind of put that light through. Now when you count these, each one of these snowflakes is separate. Okay, and I have a trick for those that I'll show you to line them up on a card that we're going to be doing tomorrow, or actually no, I'm sorry, on Thursday night, how to line these up so you can put them in a row. So I've got a little trick for that. And then this is the Holly, Boughs of Holly Designer Series paper, and we are using this particular piece. We're only using a 2-inch strip, but this has got some gorgeous papers in it, and we've used that already also on a project. And then here, this is part of this suite. This is the glimmer paper. Like I said, you're going to get 2 sheets of 3 colors, and let me open this up. And we are going to be using the Very Vanilla, and I cut a 1-inch piece. Now I don't need quite a 1-inch piece. I could have gotten away with 3/4 of an inch, but I cut it with 1 inch because I could use it on other projects. So I will do that at times so that I can use the rest of that strip and not have to cut another strip out. But there is that gorgeous evening evergreen in there, and that is really gorgeous. And then the gold. So if you are a glimmer paper lover, this should be on your list. I forgot to mention that we are also using this Snowflake Iridescent Specialty Vellum. As you can tell, look at that. Look at the different colors that you can get. And I thought that would be beautiful for a background today, adding that touch of beauty. And then the 6 sheets that you get. I love this because you have not only the iridescent, as you can see, it's on the snowflake, and then here's like a snow flurry. Isn't that gorgeous? And here is another snowflake. So compare those 2 snowflakes. These are more lacy-like, and these are more solid snowflakes. But then these next 3 pieces are flocked. Aren't these gorgeous? Oh my gosh, and it coordinates so well with the stamp set. So you've got those snowflakes, and you've got the snow flurry, and then these more solid ones. And I love that they have combined in here flocked and iridescent foil on those papers, because I find that sometimes I want flocked, but not a lot, and sometimes I want iridescent, but maybe not a whole pack. So I love that they combined those 2 this year. Okay, let's get going with our card. So on our card, we are using shaded spruce as our base. And I have cut it to measure, oops, where's my dies? I gotta see something. Okay, I wasn't sure this piece was big enough. I cut my card base at 4 1/4 and scored at 5 1/2. So our card is going to be a vertical card. I will do my Christmas cards mostly in the vertical landscape, because then when they put the card up for Christmas, it's like this. Whereas the other ones lay like, go like this, and then they take up more room, it seems like. But so I will do my cards in the vertical instead of the horizon. Then I have a scrap of our shaded spruce. I forgot to grab it. Oh, I think I didn't grab it because I didn't have a scrap of real red. So I am going to have to cut a scrap of real red. So we will cut that a little bit later. And then I have, I always going into my scrap bin, I have these 1/2-inch strips. You know how I tell you to save these 1/2-inch strips? Because we're going to line each side of our designer series paper. And this is cut 2 by 5 1/4. And so you would have to cut it 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. And you're wasting all that in the back. This way, we're just using that little strip. And I'll show you a little trick for adhering it. And here is that gorgeous iridescent paper. Okay, so we are going to start by cutting out our tree. Now, when we cut this tree, I want to cut the outline and I want that imaging on the inside. I want those little cutouts. So what's great about this is we can cut both these dies at one time. We can place them on there and we can cut 2 in 1. Okay, so let's cut that. So I will bring my Big Shot over. Not my Big Shot, I'm sorry, our cut and emboss machine. Okay, for this, we are using platform 1, platform 2, and then we are using 2 of the acrylic plates, which are number 3. I'm going to put this one on the bottom, put my paper on here. I know I'm going to want to do this at an angle because remember, if we do it straight this way, it's an abrupt long, and it kind of takes a little bit to get over that hump. And if we do it straight on this way, our dies will have a tendency of curling. So if we just do it at a slight angle, it's the best of both worlds. Okay, so I'm going to line this up on here. Okay, let's get that lined up kind of centered. It doesn't have to be perfectly centered because nobody's going to be able to tell that it wasn't perfectly centered. So don't worry about that. So you could use a piece of Post-it note if you wanted to hold that. But what I do is I take the top plate, I put it in underneath here, and remember I push it down. Okay, I need to turn this a little bit because my handle is out of my way, and I'm just going to run this right through. Okay, and I'm going to run it forward and backward, and that is because of those tiny holes. Okay, so we're going to remove that. And as you can see, all those holes have popped out. Now, you may say, well, Judy, not all of them, because I see some little ones in there. Those little stars and those other little holes are only indents. So it's like it's embossed. Okay, so let me cut a strip of real red for our tree. So we can cut another tree out. And it's about 2 1/4 inches I'm going to want to cut. So cut that. And the tree, I'm going to cut it to length because I am going to angle that. And the tree is about 4 1/4 long. So you could cut 2 out of a 2 1/4 inch strip. Okay, so we're going to lay that on here just like we did our shaded spruce. And we are going to lay just the outline this time. Okay, you're going to see why in a second. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, put that down, push that in until it just barely moves the handle, and let's keep going. Okay, so we've cut that out. And we have one more piece to cut out. So we've got that cut. And the last piece we're going to cut out is this little star for the top of our tree. And I'm going to grab our sheet of glimmer. This one does not have to be on the angle, so we're just going to put it right down here and put it this way. See, I could have done a 3/4 inch strip without a problem. Okay, that's going to flip up because it's longer than my mat. I'm going to put this in just like that. I keep bumping this shimmer paper. And I'm just going to put that plate down and let's cut that out. And it's just a small little piece. You could do this on your mini trimmer, and I believe that most of your dies, your tree die, will fit in your mini trimmer. Okay, let's take your pick tool and pop that out. So that's going to be our little star on the top of our tree. Okay, I don't want to lose any of that. Move that all to the side. And you're going to see this card comes together rather quickly. So we have our pieces that I've cut already. So the little trick when you're doing small pieces of paper like this, you always want to put your adhesive on your larger piece of paper. Okay, just remember that. A lot of times I see people trying to do, they put their adhesive on the small piece and then the adhesive shows. So I haven't trimmed these. I just want to make sure this one is the correct length, and that is 5 1/4. So I can decide how big of a border I want on that. And I just want a slight border. Okay, I'm sorry. Max is barking. And we're just pushing down. And you notice I'm using my silicone plate. Okay, I've got 2 more strips here. And I just grabbed out of my bundle. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to eyeball this one. And just going to push it over till they kind of match. They don't have to be perfect. And then I'm going to take my paper snips and snip this off. Okay, so that's a great way, and I noticed this over just a little bit here. Snip that off. Great way of using those 1/2 inch strips. Okay, now we're going to adhere our vellum to the front of our card. Now, you know vellum, glue shows through, so we're going to try to put our adhesive underneath all those snowflakes because you won't see the adhesive go through. And it doesn't matter if you go all the way to the edge or not, but if you happen to have a place where you can put some adhesive near the end, go ahead and do it. And as you can see, I'm just putting little bits of it there. Okay. And it doesn't have to be under the entire piece. You just want little bits and pieces, or little bits adhered. And I shouldn't be using this glue over my cardstock, but I am. I recommend using your silicone mat, which I just moved out of the way, but I'm going to move it in because I do not want this glue, okay, on my cardstock. I'm going to move this over. Get a little bit there. So let's just put some little dots. A little dab will do ya. Who knows what commercial that was from? That was in my younger years. I don't know if all of you guys are old enough to know that. So just in these areas where there is some place that you can actually hide your adhesive. Okay, and right here we can put a couple little dabs here. Now, if you got a big blotch like I do there, just spread it out a little bit. You can use your finger, but I know that's going to dab out pretty far. Okay, so we're going to pick that up and we're going to center it onto our card base. And look at that. So that helps soften that green. and it gives it that gorgeous background. Okay. I'm not going to do a ribbon on this one, but if you were going to do a ribbon, I would have actually adhered it underneath that vellum so it doesn't go to the inside of your card. Okay, we're just going to line this up to the left side because that's where our tree is going to go. Quite simple, isn't it? And look at how, one of the reasons why I chose this is because of the white in the paper brings out that white and coordinates with that white in the background. Okay, let's grab our tree. Oh, I already lost my little star. There it is. Okay, so this is another little trick. I am going to cut off the very top of this tree. I'm just going to cut it just like that, okay, because I don't want that showing up on the top. And look, when we put this red underneath the green, it looks like we have little red cranberries going, garland going through our tree. So I'm going to just put some adhesive on here. Don't worry about those little holes. It's not going to make a real big of a difference. Oops, got some over the edge. So I want to line this up. Let's start at the bottom because I know my top's not going to line up because we removed that star. Just get that on there. Okay. So another thing I could have done is I could have cut out the tree inside, so all the detail, and then cut the two pieces together, but I don't like to cut two pieces of cardstock on my machines at one time. Okay, I want a little bit of height to this, so I am going to add some dimensionals. So let me grab my minis. That's what I have handy. I'm going to put those on the back. How many of you have started your Christmas cards? Let me know. I'm going to put that back there. Okay, here we go. Be honest, I have not started mine yet, but I am starting this next week. I usually make one design a week, and that way, by the time Thanksgiving comes, I have my Christmas cards done. And I've done them a little bit at a time. Now, if you do all the same design, you could schedule out your time so that you did bits and pieces at different times. And so like you could cut out all your green trees one week and then cut out all your red trees another week and I cut all this in 1 week. So I'd have all my card base and pieces done in 1 week and then just schedule out time to do the rest. Okay, so we're going to put this on here and see how that red kind of pulls that out, and it pulls out a couple of the little red berries. Well, I only have 2 showing there. Now we have the star, and we're going to put it at the top, and there is just enough room in the middle of this little star to put our mini dimensional. Okay, so we're going to, oh, it does stick out, just I didn't put it on there straight. So I'm just going to clip the back of that one and not clip off the front. Let's clip that off. We're just going to set that right on there. Just like that. Okay, so our card is almost done already. Kind of hard to believe, isn't it? Now, if you wanted to add some pearls on here, you could. And in fact, I think I am going to add a few since I didn't do a ribbon. And I am going to do the silver. Now, I'm going to do 5 of them. So I need to position them out. These are all the soft succulent. This starts the silver. So let's figure out where we want to do these. We're going to do one up here. Oops, it stuck to my finger. Let's try that one again. Take that one off and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to do this one here. I like starting at the top and the bottom, and then I can kind of figure out where I want them. I want this one here. I'm going to do this one over here. Maybe not quite. Well, I don't want it to line up. I don't want these three in a line. So I may be moving that a little bit. Yeah, let's move that one in just a little bit. Oops, the glue dot stayed. Let's just lift that up. It's just a teeny bit, but to me, that does make a difference. Okay, I lost my glue dot. So I'm just going to grab another pearl. Do it here. So those two are kind of mixed. So that just adds a little bit of glimmer to our tree without hiding up all those little berries and the garland. Okay, we need a verse. So I am going to grab a piece of basic white. And I've got these 1/2 inch strips. Now I don't know if this is going to fit on a 1/2 inch strip or not, but we will find out. I think on the front of this one, I am going to put Season's Greetings. And I believe this one will fit on. So we have a choice here. We could do it in red. We could do it in shaded spruce. You could use a piece of red and you could emboss in white. But I like to keep my Christmas cards pretty simple so that I can produce many of them. A lot of people tell me, well, I don't want to do all those Christmas cards because it takes so long. Well, you know what? Don't do a Christmas card design that's going to take you forever. And if you allot time for it and do it in stages, it comes together so much quicker. So I decided to use the shaded spruce. I'm just going to put the Season's Greetings on here. Ooh, pretty. And I am just going to do it straight. So I'm just eyeballing about the distance from the S there and the S on this side. And this is a fairly simple. And what's nice about this is you could use that whole pack of specialty paper. You could do some of each design. So you could get 6 cards out of each sheet and 6 sheets. So 36 cards. Okay, so we can choose to put this across the tree like this, which I kind of like, or we could put it down here. And I kind of like it on the tree. Kind of like it on the tree. Where do you like it? Do you like it on the tree or do you like it below? Okay, we're going to do it on the tree. So remember the tree is popped up. So this side of our verse has got to be popped up with dimensionals. So I'm going to do it on the end. And then I'm going to do it about 1 inch in. Right there. And then I'm going to take my Stampin' Seal. Right there. Let's put this here. And this one here. I'll line it up here, line it up between those 2 bobbles. I do want a little bit of that vellum showing on the right side. Perfect. Okay, so there's the front of our card. So let's do the inside of our card. So like I said, I forgot to cut a 4 by 5 1/4 piece. So I'm going to do that now. Let's cut this 4 by 5 1/4. You know, I usually cut a 1/2 pack of paper at a time so that they're 4 by 5 1/4, and I am all out. Okay, so this is going to be for the inside. So the inside, I'm going to do Season's Greetings, hoping your Christmas shines bright with love of family and friends. I like that verse. So we are going to put that on the inside. Let me get my block. Okay, we're going to put that here in the middle because I like writing in my Christmas cards. Do you guys? Okay, just like that. Now, I want to add a little bit of something else to it. So let's get our stamp set and take a look. So we could put this little tree here. We could put this bigger tree on the inside. We could do snowflakes because we've got all of that on the front. But what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to use the larger tree right here. And I am only going to stamp part of it. Oh, can't get this up. There we go. So let me get my large block. And remember, I said I'm only going to stamp half of it on there. So I think I'm going to have it coming off of this corner. So I'm going to ink this up. I'm going to grab a piece of paper underneath because I don't want to get it on my mat. Okay. And we're going to line it up to where we want it. I do want that little star at the top of the tree to be about where my verse is. And right there. So there we go. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? So it's bringing the front of the card to the inside. Okay, let that dry for just a second. And I will get my stamp and seal. So I have one Christmas card done. I'll be making 10 of these at least. There we go. And there is the front. So that is the Lights Aglow. And in particular, it's the Christmas Lights bundle. And how quick and easy did that go together? And you could use the designer series paper that comes in the suite instead of the paper that I use. I just chose that today. Okay, so, oops, I adjusted everything a little bit. So I hope you enjoyed this, and let me know how you liked it. Let me know if you have any questions about designing a Christmas card. I'd be more than happy to help you with your designing and paper cutting, figuring out the paper sizes and stuff. So everybody, thanks for visiting my Happy Stamping Studio today. And until we meet again, happy stamping!